Hello everyone, this is Ravinder Dundra and welcome back to my channel. In this lecture, we are going to start a new chapter from class 10 CBSE Geography, that is Minerals and Energy Resources. So first we will discuss what are these minerals, then after that we will discuss this energy resources. As you all know that the earth is having three different layers, that is crust, mantle as well as core, and the top layer of the earth, that is the crust, is actually made up of different types of minerals. And as you all know that these minerals are an indispensable part of our life, that means they are highly necessary. We use different minerals in our daily life, starting with our daily routine. For example, you take early morning when we wake up, we take this brush or we take our toothpaste. So the toothpaste or the brush or whatever it may be, many things which we use are made up of these minerals. For example, take this toothpaste. It is made up of sometimes silica, limestone or titanium oxide or aluminum oxide. Like this, depending upon the toothpaste, different minerals are used in manufacturing this toothpaste. Not only that, you can take everything, whatever you see, cars, bikes, motor vehicles, or you can take many other things which we see in our daily life, which we use in our daily life, are actually made from these minerals. So what is this mineral? What are these minerals? What is the exact definition that we can give for these minerals? So mineral, actually the geologists, what they have given is that geologists, they define mineral as a homogeneous naturally occurring substance with a definable internal structure, which means the mineral should be homogeneous, it should have same properties, at the same time it must be occurred by nature, or it should be extracted from the nature with a definable internal structure. It must have some internal structure, maybe some physical properties, maybe some chemical properties. So if anything has these properties, we can consider it as a mineral. So the official proper definition given by the geologists for a mineral is that it is homogeneous, should be homogeneous, naturally occurring substance with a definable internal structure. We call it as this mineral. And here you can see minerals are found in varied forms. That means we cannot say mineral can be found only in one certain type, but it exists or it forms in different forms. For example, taking from a diamond to a softest talc, you know the hardest diamond, how hard it is, as well as this talcum, how soft it is. So minerals, they actually occur in varied forms, in different forms, or you can take a hardest to the softest one. Then the next thing is that, as you all know that we can find different rocks. So these rocks are actually the combination of homogeneous substances called minerals. Sometimes you might have heard the definition of rock. Rocks are something like a combination of minerals. So the rocks which we see may contain some kind of minerals, and these minerals are actually not one or two types of minerals, but over more than 2000 varieties of minerals have been identified by the people. But not all these minerals are available abundantly. Very few minerals which are available abundantly, we will learn about them and we will classify them. But how we can classify them is that based on the physical and chemical properties or chemical conditions under which the minerals are formed. So depending upon these physical and chemical conditions, minerals have been formed, or minerals will have different colors, hardness, crystal forms, luster as well as density. So all these things are actually depending upon the physical and chemical conditions, and depending upon the color, crystal forms, luster, density, or other things, we classify these minerals. And now we will see how these minerals are classified. What are these different types of minerals? Of course, we have more than 2000 types of minerals, but very few minerals which we are going to discuss in this chapter and how they are classified. So now let us see how these minerals are classified. Let us discuss about this classification of minerals. As you all know that just now we have discussed about the properties of these minerals, such as color, crystal formation, density, hardness, etc. So depending upon these properties, minerals are actually classified into three different types. They are, one is metallic minerals, non-metallic minerals, as well as energy minerals. So let us first start with this metallic minerals. These metallic minerals are again further classified into three different types. They are, one is ferrous minerals, non-ferrous minerals, as well as this precious minerals. What do you mean by this ferrous minerals? Those minerals which contains iron ore, we call them as this ferrous minerals. So here you can see ferrous means the minerals which contains iron ore. Then the examples, what are the examples of these ferrous minerals are? One is manganese, iron ore, nickel, as well as cobalt. So these are the some of the examples of these ferrous minerals. Then coming to this non-ferrous minerals. Non-ferrous minerals means those minerals which do not contain this iron ore. Examples: copper, lead, tin, bauxite, etc. are some of the examples of these non-ferrous minerals. Then coming to this precious minerals. What are the examples of these precious minerals? We all know that gold is a precious mineral, silver, platinum. So all these things are will come under this precious minerals. Then coming to this non-metallic minerals. Non-metallic minerals are such as mica, salt, potash, sulfur, granite, limestone, marble, etc. Those minerals which are not metallic, that means non-metallic means you can understand they are not the good conductors of this heat and electricity. So those metals or those minerals are mica, salt, potash, sulfur, granite, etc. Then coming to this energy minerals, you all know that those minerals which generate or which provide some kind of energy, we call them as this energy minerals. So examples are coal. You all know coal which gives energy, and petroleum. You all know through this petroleum we will get this petrol, diesel, or you can say kerosene or grease, whatever it other lubricants. Then the next one is this natural gas. So all those minerals which provide energy, we call them as this energy minerals. Examples are coal, petroleum, as well as natural gas. So once again, if you see, minerals are classified into three different types. They are metallic, non-metallic, as well as energy minerals. And further, metallic are classified into ferrous, non-ferrous, as well as precious. So now, how these minerals will occur? Where do they occur? So that is what we are going to discuss, the mode of occurrence of these minerals. So next we will see mode of occurrence of these minerals. Now let us discuss about this mode of occurrence of minerals, which means where these minerals are found. That means where we can find these minerals. Minerals are basically are found in this something known as this ores. What do you mean by a ore? Ore means, simply you can say, it is a combination of any mineral with the other elements. Usually minerals occur in these ores. What is ore? Ore means basically it's an accumulation or combination of any mineral along with other elements. It may be waste material or it may be other elements, whatever it may be, any mineral with the combination of other elements, we call it as this ore. And usually all the minerals, they occur in the form of this ore. And if we can remove these other elements, we can actually extract this mineral from the ore. So if we can remove these other elements or other waste contents from the ore, we will get the original mineral. And this mineral content of the ore, it must be in a sufficient concentration to make it commercially viable. That means, suppose take any kind of ore is there. Here in this ore, the mineral content should be very high along with these other elements. Suppose if the mineral content in the ore is very less, or if it is not sufficient, means even if we extract also, it may not be useful commercially. That means we may not be able to gain these profits. Therefore, this ore, whatever the ore it may be, it should have the sufficient concentration of minerals, at the same time other elements. And by removing these other elements, we can actually extract this mineral. And generally minerals occur in the following forms. How these minerals occur, we will discuss one by one. The first and very important thing is that generally minerals occur in these igneous and metamorphic rocks. And where they occur, they may occur in cracks, crevices, faults, or joints. So first, you all know that what are these igneous and metamorphic rocks. how they are formed. I think in your lower standards you might have learned about this igneous and metamorphic rocks, where the molten magma, when it erupts, if it come out on the earth's surface, it may cool down and solidify and may turn into minerals. So here also the minerals which are formed, mainly they may occur in the form of igneous and metamorphic rocks. But where do they occur is that they may occur in the cracks. That means the cracks which are there on the earth's surface, maybe on the crevices. Crevices means, you can say, a narrow opening. So a narrow opening on the rocks, we call it as this crevices. So it may occur in the rocks of narrow opening up of the rocks. Or faults means sometimes you see some kind of a separation on the earth surface, so there also you can find. And sometimes on the joints where sometimes the earth may collide, in that places also we can find these minerals. And how they occur is that sometimes they may occur in smaller size or smaller occurrences, which we call them as this veins. Veins means, you can say, a narrow opening, or you can say in your heart also we use this term veins, a small narrow pipe like structure. And larger occurrences we call them as this lodes. So the minerals mainly they occur in the form of in igneous and metamorphic rocks. And where do they occur? They may occur in the cracks of the earth's surface, maybe crevices of the rocks, or faults or joints. And how do they occur is that they occur maybe in smaller amount, or you can say sometimes larger amount. If they are occurring in the smaller size, we call them as this veins, and if they are occurring in the larger size, we can call them as this lodes. And what are the examples? What examples you can give is that the examples such as tin, copper, zinc, as well as lead. So these are some of the best examples of the minerals which are found or which may occur in this igneous and metamorphic rocks. So next we will discuss the second mode of occurrence. Let us discuss about the second mode of occurrence of these minerals. As of now, we have discussed that minerals mainly they occur in igneous and metamorphic rocks. Now, the second mode of occurrence is that minerals basically they occur in the sedimentary rocks. And how do they occur is that they occur in beds or layers. Before that, let us discuss how these sedimentary rocks are formed. The sedimentary rocks are basically formed from these igneous rocks. So first, igneous rocks will be formed because of this heat and temperature and other factors such as wind, weathering, or whatever it may be. The igneous rocks will be slowly started breaking in, and they'll form into something known as this sediments. Sediments means small pieces of rocks. Then all these sediments again they will be deposited in some kind of layers, or you can say some kind of bed in a horizontal manner. So these layers or beds will be turned into something known as this sedimentary rocks. So in the process of changing from igneous rocks to these sedimentary rocks, there will be some kind of deposition. From these sediments will be deposited, at the same time some kind of accumulation. So during this process of changing from igneous to these sedimentary rocks, because of this deposition of the sediments as well as accumulation of the sediments, some kind of minerals will be formed in the form of beds or layers, maybe in this kind of layers or some kind of beds. So those minerals which are formed in this manner are actually minerals such as coal and some other forms of iron ore. So usually the second mode of occurrence of minerals occur mainly in these sedimentary rocks. And how do they occur? In the form of beds or layers. But how do these beds and layers are formed? It is in the process of changing these igneous rocks into sedimentary rocks. How do these igneous rocks change into sedimentary rocks is that igneous rocks will be broken into small pieces, or you can say sediments, and these sediments again they will be deposited in a particular place, or they will be accumulated with other factors. And how they will deposit is that they will be deposited in some kind of horizontal layers or horizontal bed. So during this process of deposition and accumulation, we can find, or they can form into some kind of minerals. Those minerals are mainly such as coal and some forms of this iron ore. And not only this coal and iron ore, there are some other minerals which are formed under this sedimentary rocks. So those minerals are such as gypsum, potash salt, sodium salt. So how these gypsum, potash salt and sodium salt are formed is that mainly because of this evaporation. So sometimes because of this evaporation also we can find minerals can be formed in these sedimentary rocks. Then the coming to this third one, that is how minerals will occur in the third form, is it is mainly because of decomposition of the surface rocks and the removal of soluble constituents, leaving a residual mass of weathered material containing the ores. That means suppose on the surface of the earth you can find some kind of rocks, but because of this soluble constituents which are present in the rocks, what happens is that whenever there is some kind of erosion or whenever any kind of weathering, what happens is that whatever the soluble constituents which may be in the form of liquid or which can be mixed easily with the other forms, maybe in the form of air, maybe in the water, so those will be removed during the process of what is that weathering. So suppose whatever the soluble constituents which are present in a rock, all these things were removed from this rock because of this weathering, erosion or any other activity. And after all these activities, some kind of rock, only rock will be present on that particular place, and this rock also may contain some kind of mineral or some kind of ores, and such type of ores are actually such type of minerals which can be formed are actually this bauxite. That means the third mode of occurrence of minerals, how they occur is, it is because of the decomposition of the surface rocks. How do these surface rocks are decomposed? When soluble constituents, whatever the waste material or the liquid material which is present, which are present in the surface rocks, they will be removed because of this process of weathering or maybe because of this erosion or whatever the natural activities. So when these soluble constituents are removed from the rock, there will be some only rock as well as mineral which is left, and these rocks may also contain some kind of minerals which are formed, and these minerals, the best example is this bauxite. So minerals will also be formed because of this decomposition of the surface rocks. So next we will discuss the fourth mode of occurrence of these minerals. Let us discuss about the other forms of occurrence of these minerals. The fourth form of occurrence of minerals, mainly minerals may occur from these alluvial deposits. How do they occur in these alluvial deposits is that basically they occur at the base of the hill. Suppose this is any kind of mountain or any kind of hill, on the base of this hill or mountain we can find these minerals. Why we can find these minerals is that whatever the minerals that are present on the hills or mountains, due to this erosion or you can say due to this weathering, what happens is that all these mineral contents will be deposited here at the base of the mountain and may form something like a minerals. So that is why, since these are placed from one place to the other place or they are moving from one place to the other place, these minerals, they are also known as this, something known as this placer deposits. So these deposits are called placer deposits, and generally these minerals which they are not corroded by the water. That means whatever the minerals that are formed in this manner, they are not actually corroded by the water. So what are the examples? Gold, silver, tin and platinum are such examples, best examples for this alluvial deposits, which are also known as this placer deposits. So once again you see, minerals may occur in alluvial deposits which are also known as this placer deposits. Why do we call them as placer deposits is that because they mainly occur at the base of the mountains or base of the hills, because whatever the mineral contents that are present here in the mountains, they will be placed or they will be moved from this top of the mountain and they will be deposited or they will be placed at the base of the mountain. So that is the reason why we call them as this placer deposits, and the examples are gold, silver, tin and platinum, and mostly these minerals, they do not affect by the water or they don't get corroded by the water. And the final form of occurrence of the minerals, that is the fifth form of occurrence of the minerals, it is mainly in the form of ocean beds or ocean water. You all know the ocean floors or the oceans have huge quantities of these minerals, but it is not possible to extract all these varieties of minerals at the same time. they are not much economic significance. That means even if we extract these minerals also, we may not be able to get more and more profits. So therefore very few minerals are extracted from this ocean floors or ocean water, and the best examples are here. If we can take this common salt, as you all know we consume this common salt, then magnesium, bromine are some of the examples of this ocean minerals or oceanic minerals. So with this we have completed the mode of occurrence of these minerals. In the next session we will discuss about these ferrous minerals. Thank you.